Hello, everybody. Hello, welcome. I am the official urban therapist. I appreciate y'all tuning in to another episode of Lunchtime Conversations. Today, as y'all can see, we're going to have a very interesting topic about networking with Black content creator. Now, I kind of figured that
Ooh,
Urban wouldn't be able to have this conversation by himself, so I had to bring in help for this particular conversation. Everyone, I'd like for y'all to introduce Mr. Moneyboy Hollywood Trey into the building. What's up, bro?
what's going on? Two things. I feel like I just said through a verses with the intro. And second, are you saying black content creators in general?
Yeah, we're talking about black content creators in general. We're generalizing this today. Strictly black content creators, not no other diverse groups. Only black content creators for this conversation.
What's up, Gabe?
What up, Gay?
I'm
How
here
you doing?
for it.
Everybody else. Once again, I appreciate y'all tuning in today. Where we have my special guest, Moneyboy Trey, in the building. He just got through quote unquote roast me about my intro. I don't care because I love it.
If
Cause
y'all
cause
are on Facebook, stop acting funny and bring yourself over to YouTube. We are trying to get Urban to 1,000 subs, and we can't do that if y'all are over on Facebook watching. So if you're on Facebook watching, please come over to his YouTube channel.
for
You got to
sure,
drop
for
your
sure.
link on your Facebook page so they can come.
I kind of sort of need to do that, huh?
Yeah,
but I
two
mean,
people,
it's
the
easy.
two
All
people
you
that
got
are
to do this. All you got to do is click in on YouTube, the official urban therapist. I'm gonna pull up. I'm the only official urban therapist in the whole YouTube universe.
sir, you know niggas are lazy. They would rather click a link than type your name in and come find you. We have
Boy,
to
I
we
tell
have to
you.
dumb it down. I'm just saying we have to make it easy for our people.
Boy, I tell you. But let's go ahead and jump on this topic. All right. Now I'm gonna start off with speaking from my personal perspective and my personal experience. Um, I didn't learn so far, be able networking not only with Facebook but also networking within YouTube. That there's sort of advantages for networking with black content creators, and there are also certain disadvantages for networking with black content creators. Would you agree to that, Moneyboy?
Absolutely.
Yeah,
Yeah,
cause like
but to me there are more disadvantages simply because you're letting somebody new in your circle that you don't know and all of the baggage that comes with them. So it
yeah
has
that
its pros and cons, but the cons outweigh the pros to me.
that's an interesting perspective too. Care to elaborate on that before I give you my perspective?
Not in particular. I think it's just again, it's when you get up with new people, you don't know what type past they have and what people hate them, and those people will start hating you because you have now entered their realm. It could be people that are jealous of you because you didn't know what the fuck was going on before you popped up, and they may be jealous that you the new kid on the block.
Yeah, yeah. That's a whole lot of different scenarios as well. That's sometimes that I had noticed too on the negative part. So before I start addressing the negative part, I want to go ahead and address the positive parts of it. All right. The positive parts of networking with black content creators, and this is for any type of social media platform. Now the positive parts that I didn't notice about it is that when you network with people who have the same quote unquote purpose of or agenda or certain talking points they agree with, it creates a greater audience count, or it creates more subscribers. You know what I'm saying? Because y'all talking about the same exact issues or the same exact thing. Like, say for example, if me and you we're coming together and we're talking about that we hate all black women, right? And we you already have a subs that agree with you on that point, and now I'm talking about that point. What it's going to do is going to increase both of our sub counts. You know what I'm saying? In that respect. Same thing with another thing. It could be any topic. We could talk about anything, like such as celebrity gossip or whatever. As long as it's a commonality in that, then that's what's going to want to create the sub camps, and that's what make that particular networking beneficial in that point. You know what I'm saying? Then there's other different advantage of the network opportunity because like also in the same point, you don't know who that person or who that content creator is connected to or tethered to. They may be tethered or connected to another content creator who has even a greater, quote unquote sub count. Even though I don't like to talk about sub counts, but for this conversation I'm talking about it. But they may have an either greater sub count or anything like that, and by them having an either greater sub count, and they also agree with the sort of content that you're talking about because they're talking about on their platform, and that's where the tethering comes in, where you're networking, and you're building. So that's the positive part about it. Now the negative part about it is just like what you mentioned. Like let's say hypothetically, if it be on a certain content that y'all don't agree with, it doesn't go with the current flow, or does it go with the current agenda or what y'all agree with? Then what's happening if both parties is not mature enough to understand that it's okay to agree to disagree. What's going to end up happening is that it's going to create a immediate disconnect. It's going to create this connection where this person, all he was doing, he was just using me to begin with in the first place, right? And so this person was just using me just because we share this common goal and interest. Now, since I don't agree with what they're saying, now I'm a disconnect from that person because they're not part of the same goal agenda that we originally stated that we're doing.
Urban niggas don't even want to agree to disagree, and I'll tell you why. Perfect. I had a real life example of this. The other night, Huggy and I were on the show. And we were talking about being submissive. A lady called into the show. She gave her spiel about being submissive, her thoughts on being submissive and not needing a man and all that. And you know what Huggy and I did? We were like, okay, and we moved on. Fast forward 2 days later, I'm in a chat with this lady, and all of a sudden, this lady is saying that he and I were weak because we ignored her comments. Now, us ignoring her comments is a classic example of agree to disagree. But this black woman wanted to argue and wanted niggas to fuss with so much, she was upset that we didn't even respond to her. We let her say what she said and we're like, okay, why would we be weak because we didn't want to argue with you?
Hmm. True.
Niggas don't want to agree to disagree. Niggas all they like is confusion. And that's one reason I like staying to myself. Joy, it took Joy a long time to get me going out here collaborating with people other than the people I had been fucking with when I started off. And that was really only like one. I was fucking with Tommy Sotomayor, and that was my island there. Joy had to bring it out of me to go around and start networking with people and talking to people.
Hmm. Yep. And I believe the reason why it's very difficult for people to agree to disagree is because everyone wants to prove their point. They want to be right, and nobody don't want to take accountability for wherever they actions or whatever they say. You know, it takes a lot of well, what's the word? Look, it takes a lot of I guess for you to surrender yourself to get to that point that you could agree to disagree with somebody, that you can respect that person still, but I just don't agree with it. You know what I'm saying? With me and you, Money Boy, we did have plenty of discussions on air and off air, certain things that we talk about and we agree with each other on, and there are certain things that we disagree on as well. But yet, it's still at the end of the day, we still come back and we still respect each other regardless of our difference. And I believe that that's where the disconnect is happening. Is that people don't people have not entered into that area of maturity where like, hey, if I disagree with you, that's fine. It's okay. I'm not gonna disrespect you as a person. I still respect you unless you just do some a street crazy thing where you literally disrespected me personally. Then that's a whole nother issue. You know what I'm saying? And that's another thing that I had noticed too is that once when a person don't agree with certain things that you say, instead of them just respectfully disagreeing and stating and being mature about it and stating the reason why you disagree with it and leave it at that, they take it to a whole nother unnecessary level that doesn't need to go there. Like when you start talking about people personal lifestyles, people either like on piece of personal lifestyle, talking about their family, their loved ones, certain things like that. To me, that's taking it to a whole nother level where at this point, you're just trying to win an argument. You're not trying to
Yep.
trying to agree to disagree. You just want to win, period. You know what I'm saying? And that's where the disconnect happens. That you just want to win this argument. That's it. I don't care what I'm gonna do to win. I don't care if I put in this quarter. I call it cheat codes. I don't care if I put in this little cheat code to beat you. I'm gonna do what I got to do to beat you. So people, you know what I'm saying, people in our chat could say, ha ha, that person won, yay. So you could feel a certain type of way because people are agreeing with you. And in that case, I don't agree with that at all.
I say most people are stupid anyway, and I stand by that. Just because I watch people, and they're stupid. You can like a person can hear you say, "I'm not gay." They can hear you say it. They can see in your lifestyle that you don't do anything gay, but yet if a dumbass comes out and says you're gay, that's what it is. And then they expect niggas to have to come out here and try to defend themselves against the ignorant shit. Not me, wrong person. I let you stupid motherfuckers talk and I go on about my day.
Mm-hmm. Yep. I mean, that at the end of the day, that's all you can do. That's all you do. But just like say, I don't agree with all that. But when you trying to have a debate or whatever, I don't agree with all that trying to hit below the belt. Once again, I reemphasize that so far through my observation, I only seen us, Negroes, black people, do this to each other on this content creator platform. That's my experience. So why I done dealt with it. You know what I'm saying? And it's all
Man, it's
because a person don't agree with a certain thing that you say. Once
yes, that's
again,
why there
it
will
is
never be black unity.
yeah. Once again, it is okay to disagree with somebody. It is part of the human nature for you to disagree. If we all was kumbaya and together and agreeing with everything, the world would not be a great place. You know what I'm saying? Because we all have certain we all have certain upbringings, we all have certain life situations that we decide to want to live or we partake in, whether it's by choice or whether it wasn't by choice. But at the end of the day, we all have certain different experiences, so of course we're going to either agree or we're going to disagree based on our upbringing. That is life. But to sit up there and go beyond the belt, talk down on somebody, you know what I'm saying, to find a certain narrative and talk down on them because you don't agree with a certain argument, that is not right, and you need to be held accountable for that. Period. A matter of fact, Money Boy, you could contest to this too. There be many times where I've not been on people platforms, including your platform, and so where there are certain things that I didn't agree with, I would literally tell you about it, right? And
Right.
I'll be honest with you. I'll tell you straight up about it. Like, I believe that you shouldn't even did this. You should have went there. You should have did this, that, and that, and that. You know what I'm
And
saying?
I'd be like, you a simp, Urban, but then I'd think about it some more and be like, well, the nigga got a point. I knew
Yeah,
this anyway. I just decided to be like, fuck it. I decided to be a crash dummy that particular time.
exactly. And what that one, but see, that's another thing too is that that's by me networking with Money Boy Trey. One thing that I know a fact about his behavior is this, and I respect it. Is this is that Where Money Boy is in a space where he know with 100% that he feel like that he's right, he's going to stay in that space that he's right. The only way you can want to counteract that space that he in, that he's feel like that he's right, is by you treating him with respect, not trying to hit below the belt, but you treat him as respect. You tell him exactly how the way you feel about the situation and let it go. It works every single time. And he just admitted a few seconds ago, like, hey, I called you a simp earlier for that, but then again, I go back and I think about it. You know what? Every was real about that. But Moneyball Trey isn't the only person that's like that. It's a lot of us black people who like that, who resemble that same type of behavior. That when you be in that certain space, you feel like 100% you're right, and you don't want to hear nothing else. You don't want to hear people talking you down. You don't want to hear reason or anything like that. You feel like that you're right, period. So you want to express how the way you feel, and you feel like if a person try to, tell you differently, that person is disrespecting you. Feel like that person is checking you. You feel like that person is putting you below the belt. You know what I'm saying?
Sir, in my defense, I'm always right. So there's that.
Right, man. You almost made me spit out this water, bro.
I was trying. I hit the line right when you were drinking. It didn't work.
I swallowed that so fast too. but but
Yeah,
yeah,
I'm introverted by nature, but it's the weirdest thing because I've been, like I said, I entertain. I've been rapping and doing shows and shit for over 10 years. So it's weird that niggas that rap don't like. I don't like being around big crowds. I really don't like meeting new people because again, well, when I was in my what do you call it, that spirituality phase, it's like I don't like being around new people having all this weird energy and shit. But no,
mhm,
there's some truth to that, but I just don't like being around new people because again, it's other problems that aren't mine that I'm now inheriting.
mhm,
So it's always gonna be pros and cons, and it's like 50-50 to me. The pros don't outweigh the cons. The cons don't outweigh the pros. It's 50-50.
got you. Yep.
Half
Yeah,
good, half
exactly.
bad.
Got you. Now, one of the thing too is that I understand like the part of networking where you're really just trying to get yourself out there where you want to be recognized so people could start following your content. I understand that part. A lot of one great content creators started off that way. One of which that I could just think of right off the bat, I believe Kevin Samuels started off that way, where at first he was part of the manosphere, where he's going to different chats and stuff. He was giving this input and different things like that within the manosphere or however he was doing it, until eventually he started branching himself out and started doing his personal content, which is where it's at today. Now, in that perspective, I believe that probably will have to be in the same point of view, is that sometimes you just have to do a little thing, just kind of throw yourself out there to kind of branch out a little bit. But at the end of the day, you have to learn how to stand on your own 2 feet, produce content on your own, where instead of you going out trying to seek people to network and follow you, where it be the opposite, where people are seeking you out now because they're looking at your personal content. They're looking at like, man, I disagree with everything that Moneyboy saying, or I disagree with everything that Urban is saying, but I'm going to tune in and find out what all he's saying and stuff, and I'm figure it out, and I'm gonna follow him. And matter of fact, I'm gonna start sharing this stuff because I'm gonna let people know that I don't agree, or I don't agree, or I agree with what he said, and I believe that that's what needs to happen, where we need to um, stand ultimately stand out on your own. Have that content where you be able to stand out on your own too.
Do you know how Gabe started following me? Gabe started following me, seeing me cracking jokes in Tommy Sotomayor's chat. And on
Oh,
one of
for real.
those shows, yeah, and he was one of the guys that was like, "Damn, Trey is funny. His jokes like he underrated." And on that same show, I had Tommy Sotomayor dying laughing so hard, and he was like, "This nigga is funny. He needs his own show." At that
Mm-hmm.
time, I was just uploading other people's content that spoke to me, and that I was like, this shit needs to get out. To that time, when Tommy was like, this nigga's funny, that's when I went out and started doing my own shit. But before then, I was just uploading other people's shit, but I wasn't around a whole bunch of people. It was just, I think I was following like Brother Polite, Brother Sanchez, and Tommy at the time.
Yeah.
That was it. And I like the shit that they were saying, like, inspired me. And I was like, shit, other people may need to hear this. If I'm just hearing it, how many other people haven't heard it?
Yeah. True.
And so that's how me and Gabe started kicking it. He saw the shit that I was. I didn't even know Gabe was seeing the shit that I was saying in the comments, because this man, I have 3,000 people in there watching.
Yep. True.
But yeah, I started out by myself, but I started out having conversations that men and women wanted to be a part of.
Mm-hmm. Yep. True. And that's where it start off as, you know what I'm saying? And same thing with I keep mentioning him, even with Tony Sotomayor, Kevin Samuel, Tony Sotomayor, and all these good content creators, they they started off by talking about certain issues that people talk about amongst themselves, but nobody never talked about it on a public platform before. So they're like, you know what? People is not talking about this. You know what? I'm going to talk about it. I'm gonna take all the heat for it because I believe this is a conversation that needs to be heard. And so that's what they did, and that's how they started building up. You know, and likewise,
Kind
you
of
know,
like
saying
submission.
yeah, like submission. You know,
You talk
yeah,
about
even
that in 2021, you getting drugged.
yeah, even with the um dealing with the word submission and stuff. I even addressed that on one of my shows, stuff about the submission, and I gave a whole history lesson of where they came from. I gave a whole history lesson about the feminist movement and everything, and how the way the fourth wave of the feminist movement is now dealing with the LGBT movement and all that stuff. You know what I'm saying? I broke it down, talk about all that stuff, bro. And at the end of the day, it is what it is. Modern day modern day women is afraid of the word submission because they feel like that this they feel like when you hear the word submission, that means that you have to surrender to a man. You have to be totally and absolute obedient to a man, where you don't have no thought process, no point of view, none of that. And that's kind of the way they take it as. And that's not what the men are talking about. You know what I'm saying? Submission, well, when they talk about the word submission, ultimately what they talking about is for us be in the gender roles that we're supposed to be in, where the man is supposed to be the leader of the head, and the woman is there to be the support or the help me. That's what they're talking about. It always been that way through centuries, through every culture followed this same type of pattern. Every culture has followed the same type of pattern, even to this day. Ourselves, and now we're dealing with the modern day people and
I
the
mean,
modern day
black women.
women.
No, no, we don't say modern day women. We're gonna keep it real and say black women. And what burns
Yeah,
me up
black women.
about black women having, like, these same black women will preach to you about God, but y'all forget that part where women is supposed to be the helpmate, where they're supposed to be submissive to their husbands. They'll
Hmm.
tell you how God is their best friend and they love the Lord. But as soon as you talk about submission, they won't submit to us, but they'll submit to God and to Jesus.
Hmm. And what's another interesting perspective about that is that history has labeled God and Jesus as a form of a man.
Yep.
Once again, history has labeled God and Jesus as a form of a man. So I find it very interesting that the black woman will literally submit to God or Jesus as a form of a man versus a natural man who's there right now, that you can literally physically see, touch, smell, everything.
It's black women for you.
But once again,
Black
you know what I'm saying?
women.
We um people, they could take this particular conversation, they could take it and kind of misconstrue it and say that, hey, y'all want to be in sexist and y'all being misogynistic about it, and all these different other things, which that is fine. It's okay. But at the end of the day, history proves that um, that will always how the way these type of relationships been throughout history. Even to this day, it always been that way. But just like I say, the pushback started happening when the feminine movement came on the scene. It just and also and just to clarify this, which y'all two who are listening, um, Urban had did a full 3.3 part series talking about the feminist movement. All right, the feminist movement, first of all, did not start with black women. The feminist movement always and has been started with the white women of this country. The only time the only time when the feminist movement came apart of the black culture is when it's when the same feminist people came and coerced the black leaders at that time during the time of slavery. They coerced them and say like, "Hey, y'all want to be slave? Y'all want to be on free? Join our movement because we're trying to get equality as well. So if we could team up and get equality as well, then y'all can get the same freedom and equality as well too." And that's what started the whole entire movement. But people do not want to talk about that, and I'm talking about black people.
Right. That's something else that the white people gave to them that they just eat up. But white people are racist.
Hmm. Yep, true. So that's like I say, it is what it is. We all have our different beliefs and perspective dealing with this particular topic. I have my personal belief and perspective about that, and to be honest with you, we did had these conversations before, so I agree with what you say. At the end of the day, it is what it is.
The only beliefs and perspectives I have are based in truth. If there's no truth involved, I don't. It's there is no belief or perspective.
Hmm.
And
Yeah.
that's why people don't like me because I speak in what the fuck is true. I speak in facts. I speak in what the fuck is going on around us, what we can actually see. And niggas just for some reason act like they don't see this shit. It's that's why, but again, that I guess that's why I'm an introvert because and one thing I cannot stand is stupidity. I have zero tolerance for stupidity.
Hmm.
Stupidity is a trigger for me. That's why I like to stay to myself because I realize the majority of people are stupid. And that's
Yep.
another con when you go out networking, you got to deal with all people. We got to deal with everybody's stupid subscribers who don't
Yeah.
realize well this particular content creator who brought this guy up here that I don't like, they don't have a problem with what he said. They actually are cool. They're back and forth on each other's panel. Maybe I need to get out my motherfucking feelings. That's the hard. People will not look at themselves and say maybe I got the problem. If everybody else around me is getting along, then why am I in my feelings about what these people do?
Hmm. You know what that remind me of? That remind me of you enter into a relationship, with a woman, and you got to take all the baggage with it. You got to take not only her certain behavior traits with it, you got to take her children behavior traits with it, and you have to deal with the behavior traits of her family as well. You got to take all this stuff on, and at the end of the day, you can't control none of that, even though you wish you could. But at the end of the day, you really can't control none of that. All you could do is speak on it, and that's it. You know.
Pretty much. But you can control it though by limiting who the fuck you give yourself access to.
Well, yeah, yeah, I can see that.
Because if we
Mm-hmm.
already just say like you and I, we already have our own following. If we don't go outside of our box and we stay where the fuck we are on our channel, we don't have to worry about the stupid shit because the people that support us already know what the fuck we saying and doing.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Yeah, exactly. Then also all it takes is just for one of our videos to go viral, and that's it. That's all it takes. Because that's
Yep.
exactly what before I was on YouTube, that's exactly what happened to me on Facebook. It just took one of my videos and it went viral, and that's how I got all them subs on Facebook like I got right now because of just one of my videos. And so now I'm transitioning to YouTube. All it's gonna take is one of my videos and go viral, and there we go.
I think I
But
may have
it
had
happens
one.
without networking.
I think I may have had one viral video on Facebook, and that's because it was black people doing some fuck shit. But I have viral posts, but I've been put in Facebook jail so much, my shit don't even go out no more.
Yeah.
Like I used to have 200 and 300 people come in and reacting and sharing my shit. Now don't nobody fuck with my shit. Like I'm the only person that like my shit on Facebook now. I've been put in jail so much.
Hmm.
I don't even think people see my shit.
Yeah.
Cause I got family members that I know for sure would like and share every motherfucking thing. That ain't been happening lately.
Hmm.
That's why I gave up on Facebook. The only thing I do on Facebook is share my YouTube shit and tell motherfuckers to come subscribe to me over there. That's it. I use it
Yep.
as a billboard.
Yep. Yep. Facebook be like that too. They be screwing up people's algorithms too. Shoot. Especially if you on high alert with them. They sure be tripping over there. Cause it
Yeah,
be like
I'm
that
a
with all my
habitual
videos
offender.
and stuff. They be on that trip. They be tripping, bro.
All 2020 and up until March of this year, I went in Facebook jail every month. Without fail, every month I was in Facebook jail. And the last time I was in Facebook jail, they just found like 3 old posts from years ago and hit me with 60 days. Fuck Facebook.
So, what I'm learning, that's by dealing with the YouTube and stuff like that, YouTube sector. What I'm learning is that now I have to be like real strategic with my networking now, and I have to like really just sit down and just really just vet people before I actually start going full fledged out trying to network with them and do certain collaborations with them, anything like that. Because I have to really see what they're about. You know what I'm saying? There's certain things that on content creators put out there that I'm just be real, but I'm just not about that life. Like say for example, I'm not about the beef sector or the you know what's that, the tea sector, wherever these sectors are that's dealing with using negative content to build up their audience and build up their subscribers and stuff. They're using negative content to get negative behavior, to get negative views, so they can do what they do. I'm just not about their life. You know what I'm saying? I don't like doing that to people. Period. You know what I'm saying? I'm always about um have a post about first of all, building, uplifting people both mentally and spiritually, and I'm also about accountability as well too. Showing people the mirror image of their certain behavior and allow them an opportunity to take accountability for the behavior that they do. That's what my channel is about. Period. You know what I'm saying? So um, I'm not just like where when I go and I tread into these certain sectors and stuff. I may sit up in a chat, or as they say, sit in the bushes. I might sit in the bushes and watch them or whatever. But at the end of the day, I'm really not trying to network with them because now I'm vetting them. I'm seeing what they really about. So
Yeah, I can't lie. I do engage in the fuck shit, but again, it's I only engage in the fuck shit that I feel like is going to be beneficial for me. I can't give everybody a response.
yeah, yeah, true.
And I'm typically one and done with my responses too. There's only been one person who I just consistently win it. And I think everybody can understand that if a person fucks with you for 6 weeks straight, then it's I went overboard just like that person did after 6 weeks. But I ain't even bothering that person now. I've moved on about my life.
Hmm.
People
Hey,
don't know
Miss
how to move the fuck on.
Hey, Miss Hey, Miss Patrice, is there still an echo? I just turned off the sound on one of my speakers. It sounds like it
I
still
didn't
is.
hear an echo. I never heard an echo through, but maybe that's on the playback. But I didn't. I hadn't heard an echo through us talking.
Oh yeah.
What all
Oh no,
platforms are you on right now?
huh?
I said, what all platforms are you on right now?
Talking about
Cause
streaming
I'm
as
on
of right
your,
now.
yeah, I'm on Facebook right now. I see it says 7 people watching. I'm on Facebook. You on YouTube and what else?
Twitter.
Nigga, you can go live on Twitter.
Urban Bougie.
I've been fucking up. I need to figure out how to add this shit. I need to figure out how to do that. Cause I thought Twitter only had the space app, the MySpace app.
No, it's
Are you sure you're
they
on Twitter
originally
or TikTok?
no, I'm on Twitter. I'm not on live on
I think
TikTok.
you lying. I
No, I'm
think
on
you
Twitter
lying.
for
What's
real.
your name on Twitter?
The
I'm
official
finna
urban
pull this shit
therapist.
up.
I kid you not. I'm
Mm,
live on Twitter right now. I kid you not.
I think he capping y'all.
Yeah. I kid you not. You go on my Twitter page right now. You'll see the official urban therapist. You'll see us live right now, bro. I kid you not.
Nigga, and I'm following you. Nigga, if you laugh right now, I need you to tell me how to do it. See, I don't see it. Like, it just says tweets, and your last tweet was 30 minutes ago. It says lunchtime. Maybe do I have to click the link? But it
Yeah,
ain't
you
showing
probably
that you're
do.
live.
You probably do.
Say twitter.com broadcast. Oh shit, there is something. Okay then, you motherfucker, you. Tell me how to do this shit when we get off. I did not know. Like, cause I've never even been. I've had IG for like 2 years. I've never tried to go live on it. I don't
Mm-hmm.
fuck with IG like that. I hate the fact that you have to post a picture to say something. That is stupid to me. And
Yep.
I did not want IG when I had a manager. The manager set up my IG and Twitter and shit. 'Cause at the time, I only had Facebook. When
Mm-hmm.
I had a manager, when I got the manager, I had YouTube. I had YouTube since 2010, but I hadn't used it.
Yep.
So he made all that shit 2 years ago. I'm like, damn. It's really I don't have time for all this shit. Like I said, I, YouTube is the app that I be on the most now. It was Facebook tripping, so now I'm on YouTube. I got IG and Twitter, but I rarely ever go check them. But I
Yeah.
do need to know how to go live on Twitter so I can start
It's
doing it.
I tell you exactly how you could do it. You using Streamyard, right?
Yeah,
Well, when you go to your settings on Streamyard and it have you to add a platform link.
account.
Yeah, add
Oh,
an
okay.
account. You can add Twitter to that too.
I'm doing that as soon as I go off. I did not know this. I don't even got no. I don't got no fucking. I only got 318 people following me on Twitter. But shit, if I
So
go
I don't
live,
know
it'll
how many
start
people
building
follow me
up.
on Twitter. I just do it because you'll never know. Cause I learned too that's another way how your videos go live is on Twitter. Somebody could doing a tweet and they just so happen to see your video. Like, let me see what this fool talking about. And that's how you know they send up here sharing your video out.
And I read that wrong. I'm following 318 people and 56 followers. And most of them 318 people are sex workers. I just say that they all got OnlyFans. Twitter is popping with the porn.
That's why I barely be on there, but I just leave it up there because you'll never know. One of them sex workers probably pick up on my posts and they probably go live. I mean, go viral. So I put it out there.
I do notice Tommy gets a lot of he gets a lot of guests on his show from the shit that he sees on Twitter. But you know what? I will say that more celebrities are on Twitter and active on Twitter than they are on IG. So it's actually easy to connect and meet with people on that
Hmm.
type level.
Yeah. Like even on my IG page, I personally neglect my IG page because to be honest, I really just haven't seen a full value for me to be on IG. But then again, just like what Junior Rap said, there's benefits to being on IG. So maybe I need to start put my IG
Where
on
the
there.
hell is
Just
June?
it's on June or Ralph.
June, you got June. Yeah. Oh, okay. There, I see you. Well, yeah. There's benefits to all that shit. There's benefits to all that shit, but I don't have time to be on 4 social media apps unless, like Urban said, like I can have them all set up. Like on my Streamyards, I got
Mm-hmm.
Facebook and YouTube set up, but I don't even hit the Facebook jet no more because the last time I went live on it, wasn't nobody there, and I was like, before all my Facebook jail stints, I had people there because my show was exclusively on Facebook.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't use that link anymore. But yeah, there's positives on being on all this shit. I just don't have time to monitor all four of them.
Exactly. It is like that with me too. I, I place value in what's most beneficial to me, like Facebook and YouTube. The reason why Facebook and YouTube is valuable to me is because that's that's where majority of my subs is at. But IG and Twitter, and TikTok. You know what I'm saying? I have a good amount of subs over there, but I just don't place a whole lot of value into it because of the type of platform it is. But I mean, I can stream on Instagram right now if I wanted to.
Yeah,
Just
me
like
too.
when I
I've
was
never
doing my
done it.
other, yeah, just like my other shows I did where I actually had my TikTok to the left of me. I could do that on the platform. Have my TikTok on the left for me. Have my Instagram on the right to me, and everything. I'll be streaming from all of it if I wanted to at the same time.
And by the way, June Raff is another person that I met on Tommy Sotomayor's channel.
Oh yeah.
Yes, June is a great supporter.
Shout out
June,
to June.
I don't know if June is. I don't even know if June is a man or a woman. They're a great supporter.
Mm-hmm. That just like with Nunya.
No, we know. Well, Nunya has come out and said she's a girl, but
Mm-hmm.
Nunya, but we call Nunya Plies. We just say that's Plies. Whenever we see Nunya, that's Plies. She gonna pop up in the chat now. It's like,
Uh
what
huh.
you
You
say,
know how
nigga?
she is.
With her porcelain.
But yeah, that's what I do, bro. That's what I do. Cause I remember at one point in time another person mentioned that, but when I what was it? Oh, when I went on one of them people panels or whatever, they had mentioned that to me. Talking about, well, how are you able to manage all these platforms at the same time when you're doing all this different stuff? That's how I do it.
Ah, gotcha, June.
That's how I do it. I mean, it's
You know,
very
when I
possible
see
when you know
June
how
of
to do it.
Wrath, though, the first thing that comes to my mind is grapes of wrath. Okay, so Urban, let me ask you, in your experience with you being out with content creators and networking with them, has it been beneficial to you?
And in certain parts, yeah, it been beneficial to me. And certain parts, no, it haven't been beneficial to me at all.
Do you still have niggas emailing you because you was trying to network?
No, not this current moment. Nope, not this current
That's
moment.
the that, that's the downside of trying to network. You get motherfucker, and that's even happened
Yeah, yeah.
to that's even happened to Joy and I. Just for us networking, they send other people emails telling them to watch out for us, and we haven't done anything to anybody on YouTube
I
other
could
than
tell I could
respond to the fuck shit they say. We ain't bothered nobody. We ain't threatened to pull up. We ain't talked. We hadn't said we hadn't talked about. Well, I take it back. I only talked about one person. So okay, I take it back.
I
But we
could I
ain't
could
done nothing no bad on YouTube.
I could tell you this though is that
I've never doxed anyone.
oh yeah
I can say
I
that.
could hey I could tell you this though just through my experience there have been pros and cons with that right now certain but whenever I quote unquote come out the bushes and actually literally be interacting with the chat and stuff with people, then eventually I end up landing on their platform or whatever. You know what I'm saying? I believe that wherever I put out there, that should be returned back. Period. You know what I'm saying? So if I'm coming out the bushes and I'm giving all this energy, I'm giving all support. If it was possible for me to share out your content on YouTube, if they made it available for me, I'll do that. I'll share out your content and everything. Cause I do it. If you're part of YouTube, I do it straight up on YouTube. No questions asked, you know what I'm saying? But I'm just that person that wherever you put out, that's the energy I'm gonna give back to you, you know what I'm saying? So if I'm sitting up here sharing all your content, I'm in your chat, I'm doing everything, and on your panels as well and stuff too, you know what I'm saying? And you're not doing the same thing, you're not coming back and saying like, hey, let me jump on your panel. I'm interested in what you're talking about. Let me jump on your panel. Or you're not entering to my chat, interacting with to my chat. What I'm gonna do, I'm not gonna network with you no more because I know where you at. I know where your mind is at. So I immediately start networking with you.
Well,
And
that's
I
one of
have
the
did that to
things
a lot of
I
different
learned
content
with
creators.
networking with people. Everybody is not going to have the same heart as you. Everybody not going to be real as you. Everybody not going to operate as you. So you may have a certain sense of, like you said, if I'm coming over there and I rock you, I'm gonna share all your shit out. I'm gonna support you. I'm gonna do the other. Everybody doesn't think like that.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't think it's necessarily wrong that other people don't think like that. We as humans a lot of times come into situations or go into situations expecting people to be like us or have that same loyalty us to us, and we don't really know them. We expect people to ride for us like we would ride for them, but that's just not in them. So we can't be mad at them for that. We just
True.
have to accept it.
True, and that's why I did too. I accept it for what it is. You know what I'm saying? And this goes all the way back to what I was saying originally in the conversation that when we have to vet people and see exactly where they mentality is at. At first, I didn't do that. I didn't vet people. I just jumped head first into the pool until I bumped my head, and that's how like, damn, I done bumped my head. Instead of blaming everybody else, that I bumped my head. But the accountability part is me because I the one who chose to jump into the pool to begin with in the first place, not saying that water is shallow water. I did that. You know what I'm saying? So I can't blame
Exactly.
them. So, but
Exactly.
now I
So you
learned my
too.
lesson on that. So now I come in wholeheartedly vetting people and see exactly where they at. I give people opportunities, just like I expect to receive opportunities. I also give people opportunities as well. You know what I'm saying? If they accept it, cool. If they don't, no, cool.
Yeah, because the accountability has to be on us because shit, we're at this point we're supposed to understand that everybody ain't gonna be like us. I'm
Mm-hmm.
just one of those people. I've watched and studied people enough that I see the patterns in people, so I'm not shocked by anything that people do. It's like par for the course. And as I always tell Joy, people come into your life for seasons. Everybody's not meant to be around for a full calendar year or for the rest of your life. Some are literally there just for spring, fall, winter, shit like that.
True.
They're only there for 3 to 4 months. They're not meant to be around your whole life. So take whatever good out of the time that y'all had together and roll with it. That's why I'm able to. That's why I'm able to just cut people off and move the fuck on with my life.
Mm-hmm.
Like
True.
for example, I think you, me, and Tough Love all knew each other at one time. He
Mm-hmm.
and I stopped dealing with each other. You don't hear me bothering that man. You don't hear him bothering me.
Mm-hmm.
It's what grown people do. It's not enough
Exactly.
grown people out here on YouTube. Everybody wants to be childish. Everybody want to be rich. Everybody want to be successful. Everybody want to talk about shit that they can't show instead of just being normal. That's why niggas don't like me because they be braggadocious, and I just be like, okay, I'm just a
Yeah.
nigga on YouTube. Y'all can be what y'all want to be. I'm just a nigga on YouTube.
Yep.
I don't claim
Exactly.
to be shit.
Yeah, exactly. And once again, that shows the maturity level as well. When you mentioned about tough love, so that shows the maturity level. Okay, there's certain things that we agree on. There's certain things we disagree on. So I'm gonna stand firm to what I believe in. You're gonna stand firm to what you believe in, and y'all just you know went about your own business. There wasn't no other. Even right now, I'm still on. By the way, sub to his podcast anyway. So I have not yet to see him put in any type of one content about Moneyboy Trade or some anything like that and stuff. You know what I'm saying? In fact,
Well,
majority of
well,
his
well, he
content,
finally stopped doing Tommy.
yeah, yeah. In fact, his content been a whole lot about what I've been talking about too, about the black content creator lately. It's been about that.
Well, that's what it's always been about, from my understanding. He just was always talking about the shit that content creator said.
Hmm.
That's what that hasn't changed. And again, him and I did not have a falling out. He and I was well, his shit, the shit's been out there. It's recorded. It's on my page. But he was on me, Tommy, and this other chick named Amber, who introduced me to. We were all on Tommy's show, and we were having him and Tommy had history that I did not know about. So we on this show. I did not know they had history, and they're talking, and so shit, I'm speaking from shit that I didn't know about. And I'm like, if we're free, like my thing to him was on the show, like, shit, nigga, you getting tough love today. Cause as you said earlier, you've talked to me several times online and offline and be like, bro, you was wrong. I thought that's what grown men did. So I did that day. He was upset about it. Well, not the same day. He wasn't upset about it because I texted him after the show. I was like, bro, I salute you for staying on the hot seat. Like, shit, most niggas can't handled it. I guess he slept on it and he woke up the next day and was in his feelings like, you my friend, and how you do this and how you gonna say you gave me tough love, and he gave me an ultimatum, and I was cool with the ultimatum. I
Hmm.
chose opposite, but I don't have no beef with this man. I hadn't said nothing bad about him. He hadn't said nothing bad about me. We just moved on.
Yeah. Yep. True. And that's why I'm saying that at the end of the day, you just moved on. That's what it is. And that's still talking about the season that you're in. Some seasons is meant to be there for a lifetime. Other seasons meant to be there just for the moment. And that's it. That's what it is. And I also believe that even the certain seasons that's short term, I believe at the end of the day that particular season is there to help elevate. It's an opportunity to help elevate a person to another
Yes,
level of where they need to be at. You know what I'm saying?
exactly. And that's why there is no hard feelings, because I'm like, shit, okay, during this season, I grew. This happened, so I can leave this situation not being upset. Most people can't. They're looking for friends for life. They're looking for supporters for life.
Mm-hmm.
I'm real. I don't. I'm real. If I can, it's family members that I can't stand and don't talk to. So I know why the fuck would I expect to be friends and cool with a motherfucker on YouTube that I don't know,
True. That is so true.
and expect them to act differently than my family,
Yep.
or support me more than my family. It's just not gonna happen. We have
Yep.
unrealistic expectations.
Exactly. And I was just about to say that to have an unrealistic expectation, just like as though as you in an actual um, heterosexual relationship with content creators.
See, Gabe was around for that conversation.
Mm-hmm.
He was like, until I remembered he was Mr. KTU, because that was weird. It's so crazy, that whole situation. I never knew him and Tommy had past words, had beef, because when Tommy finally popped up and said something about him, it was because he had defended him. And he was like, shout out to this brother. And then somebody was like, hey, that's Mr. KTU slash etc. Hold on. Go ahead. I got a call.
Oh well, why he got that called? Hey, let me go ahead and acknowledge everyone who's in the chat right now. Hey, PMP, I see you, brother. Well, I appreciate you in the chat. We got Miss Wanda in the chat as well. I appreciate you for tuning in. We got also, I think I seen Joy. Miss Joy Chicha, hey, welcome as well. I appreciate you tuning in. Gabe, you already know what it is, bro. I appreciate you as well for tuning in. Who else we got? Got June, got Mark. I appreciate y'all. I appreciate y'all tuning in to this conversation and let me see, Miss Patrice as well. Miss Patrice. Sorry about that, my tongue getting tired, but I appreciate y'all for tuning in as well too. I appreciate it a whole lot. Now, now y'all enjoying the conversation, right? If y'all enjoy the conversation, go ahead and hit the like on there. If you want to share it out, if you're able to share it out, go ahead and share this content out. Go ahead and do that. I appreciate it a whole lot. State game representative, you know how we do. Go ahead and throw your stakes out too. Show that we are represented up in here at Urban Show. appreciate that a whole lot. So the whole conversation that we're having right now, we're having this whole conversation saying if networking with black content creator, is it beneficial for us to network with each other? Is it beneficial or not? And so me and Money Boy Trey, we're both sharing our different experiences dealing with network. You know, we're sharing the positive experience that we had with it, and we're sharing the negative experience as well, where, you know, networking with, you know, black content creators. Now, keep in mind, we're in this conversation, we're literally generalizing this conversation with black people. We're not talking about white people, Hispanic people, nothing like that. We're talking about specifically black people. That's what we're talking about. And so I started off the conversation saying that I noticed that it's a certain trend with networking with black content creators. And I was saying that it could be beneficial depending on who you want to network with, and if you take the opportunity to vet that person to see if they really are down for you and if they really are about their life. But if they have a secret agenda saying that they're not about their life, but yet they're networking with you, then what's going to end up happening is that one day y'all going to end up having a conversation, whether you're on a panel or whatever, you're going to have a conversation. Then you're going to end up having a conversation where you disagree with, that's what's going to cause the disconnection, where next thing you know, oh, this person isn't this or this person isn't that and stuff. And the reason why it comes to that point is because at the end of the day, originally we didn't vet each other to see where we really was at. That's the conclusion that I'm coming up with. Now, is it possible for black content creators to network with each other? I believe that it is. And another example that me and Moneyboy was talking about was that we was talking about the benefits behind it and stuff. You know what I'm saying? Longest that person is, longest we're both in a mature space where we be able to network with each other, we could converse with each other, and we could want to agree to get into a space where we could agree to disagree. Then it's fine. There's nothing wrong with the networking. But if you're not in that mature space where you could either agree or disagree, or agree to disagree, or even furthermore, take certain accountability as well, then the networking is not working. And another example that I used was that I was telling everyone, then I also was telling one of my Moneyboy traders earlier too, that there been certain situations that we talk about personally, and there also been certain conversations that we talk about either on the panel or on my show or on his show on a panel, that there's some things I agree with and there's some things I totally didn't agree with him on. And I told him about that. You know what I'm saying?
Only Simps disagree with me, sir. Only Simps disagree with me.
As y'all can see. As y'all can see. But at the end of the day, my disagreement didn't come where I hit him below the belt. I talked about him and his family or anything like that. I never did that to him, period. Because I believe when you do stuff like that, that is wrong, and all you're trying to do is trying to win by any means necessary. So where we disagree, he even admitted this. He even said that, hey, I disagree with what Urban said, but at the end of the day, I came back and thought about it. Like, Urban was right about that. It even been some things that Moneyboy said to me, and I didn't agree with him, but I came back and thought about it. Like, you know what? My boy Trey was actually right about that. He was real about that. You know what I'm saying? And we'll come back and talk about it, and we'll still have the same respect for each other. And I believe that that's how it should be when you network with each other.
Well, unfortunately, sir, there aren't too many black people like you or I, so yeah. And then the moment we
Yeah.
start, but here's the fucked up part about it. You try to network with black content creators and you end up getting burned. But as soon as you link up with white people or anybody else that's not black, it's a motherfucking problem. People ignore the fact that you started out fucking with nothing but black content creators. And then when
Hmm.
you realize, you know what, these niggas don't have my best interest, so I'm gonna cut these niggas off and move on, they have a problem.
Exactly. And you want to know what correlates to that? That correlates to when black people have their own business, like like restaurants or anything like that, and you really try to go and rock with them, right? And you enter to that establishment, this fool's acting out ghetto, is hooded out. The quality of the quality of the thing that they're selling is not good at all. Then they overprice it as well. They get upset with you when you say, "Hey, the stuff that you got, you're overpricing this." Even the white folks is not overpricing this. Why you overpricing this? Oh, because we're in the hood, man, and you're supposed to support us. Now, I'm not gonna support this, especially where your quality is not good. Why would I support that? I wouldn't even support this if it was a white person that was doing it. So why would you think that I'm supposed to support that? You being black?
Cause that's what niggas do. Niggas sell you $80 jumpsuits and act like they doing you a favor.
Yeah, exactly. They get upset at you when to my man, sure, what's up with the discount and stuff? You already got this stuff high price. What about the discount? See, that's what's wrong with you Negroes. Y'all always be trying to look for a handout. Nah, bro. Your business is looking for a handout by overpricing something that's not good quality.
Hello, Lachey Jackson. Welcome in the building.
The shade, what's up? What's up with it? Do you say you're supposed to be doing something with her later on tonight?
Yeah, well. I just invited her to it. I was gonna review her. I'm reviewing a video she did like at 4:30, 5 o'clock in the morning. But yeah, I just invited her.
What time y'all gonna do the show? Cause I have another show I'm gonna do later on tonight with PNP.
You know, but say you know I'm a late night nigga.
Okay.
Probably about 10. What time y'all going live?
We going by 8:30. PNP, we was going live by 8:30, right?
PMP, you did not clear this with state gang, sir. What are you doing?
It's been overridden, approved by Urban.
What y'all talking about?
We're gonna review the video that he was talking about that dude that got murdered.
Oh, is it the okay? Okay, I know what you're talking about.
Hmm.
I know what
He
you're
was trying
talking
to
about. He
go
sent me that
visit his
story
kids
too.
and he got murdered. Got murked.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it was a
so we're
white guy,
gonna talk
right?
about that.
Yeah, wasn't that a white guy that went to go see his kids and got shot?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Y'all know I'll join in until I have to go live. Or hell, if it
Yeah.
gets
So
that
we
good,
going we
I'll
going
probably just push
8:30, and I'm
mine back.
and and we're going earlier because I want to respect on PNP time because he in Canada, so I want to
That
respect
nigga
his
is an
time.
hour ahead of us.
I want to respect his time, sir. That's what Urban. That's what Urban do.
PMP, sir. We don't have bedtimes around here, my G. As a matter of fact, the last time you was talking about it was gonna be too late, nigga, you stayed on there till about 2 a.m., which would have been
He was
three your
on the
time.
line snoring. What you talking about? He was asleep.
What that was on mine, not yours. The last live
Oh,
when I was like, I'm gonna go live and I want y'all on it. He was like, well, you need to do like 9 or 9:30. So I'm like, but nigga, you up here to 2 o'clock my time, so it was three your time. But yeah, he will fall asleep though.
yeah, for sure. Your PNP, he'll go sleep on you for real. On the live and everything. He will.
Well, Joy, to be fair, I think PMP is beige. I think he's beige. I'm not sure. PMP, you're gonna have to take the skin test one of these days. We need you to show your arm or something.
See, there you go. But but nah, yeah, that's what I'm saying. I'm respecting his time because I know he's a busy man, so
What do
I
you
want to
mean
respect
there
his
I go?
time.
PMP ain't went off on nobody ever, so that leads me to it leads me to believe he may be white. You a beige, you a light skinned brother yourself. You don't go off on nobody. I think you. I'm confused because y'all have beige race, but this nigga never goes off.
Who you talking about? PMP or me?
PMP. Yeah, you don't go off either.
No, I don't have a reason to go off on people I don't know.
I do, because they were disrespectful.
Yeah, I have no reason because at the end of the day, I don't know them, and I don't care.
I give people a long rope before I cuss them out. I don't care what they say either. It's just the fact that you're not gonna keep disrespecting me and think I'm not gonna say nothing. Because if I don't say anything, that means you think you got the green light to keep doing this shit.
Well, yeah, true, true, true.
Like I don't
I
mind
could
people.
rock with
I
that.
don't mind people reviewing my content as long as they're respectful. But then if they're disrespectful and review my content, they shouldn't have a problem when I'm disrespectful reviewing the shit that they said about me. When I get disrespectful back, it shouldn't be a problem. I'm fair.
Hmm. Yeah, because I originally started off with the ill intent of being disrespectful, which that's why I say I mean I agree with that. That's with the comment I made on one of y'all live, right, is that you can't expect to throw a rock at a person and hit them without them reacting to it and throwing the rock back at you, and
So Gabe, you
except
think
her play the victim role.
so? PMP, you team dark skin. PMP threw up the dark skin arms. Yeah, yeah, Gabe. Gabe, you're officially our white friend. We just gonna call you our white friend.
Hmm.
So when people
But
be
what
like, "You guys are racist," we're like, "No, I have Gabe. Gabe is my friend."
what was that term that they used to call Eminem rigger?
Yeah, a white nigger. Yep. Man, that's what wigger means.
Oh man, but we supposed to be going live around about that time, bro. By all means, hop on because we love to hear your perspective about that too.
Hopefully we doing it on PMP channel. Yo shit be doxing niggas,
Oh goodness gracious, we're doing it on my show. As you can see,
sir.
nobody cannot see throughout this whole conversation we had. Nobody have not seen you. Period. They could just see your
That that's
voice, and that's
that's
it.
because of that's because of the damn the layout that you have, nigga. I may want my avatar to be shown so I can promote myself. You hogging all the spotlight, my G.
So I don't know how you could put your avatar there. To be honest with you, I
You
never
can't
tried it
on this.
before.
You can't on this bougie ass site apparently.
Oh well, level up. Get
Kevin
past that
Samuels, motherfucker.
get past that old get old Streamyard. Get to the
Yeah,
real game.
you Kevin Samuels, motherfucker. Joy Wallace voice.
So y'all got to come up here really correct on urban. Say
Look at my
I'm giving
camera.
Money
Look at
Boy
my
them.
setup.
I'll give them Money Boy them the benefit of the doubt because I know them. That's why I'm not showing them on camera because I know them. But any other people that I don't know, best believe y'all gonna be y'all need to be cammed up. The only way you get on here is that you gotta be cammed up.
So you gonna have a black. Show them what it looks like when I cam up.
Want me to show you?
Yeah, show them what my current cam situation looks like.
Oh, here it is, y'all. I'm show y'all.
Urban got me fucked up. You can't make me come on camera if I don't want to. It's black, nigga.
this 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 black nigga on the black cam.
All black like a omen.
Oh man, say there you go.
Yeah, but PMP he doing that shit so we can't promote ourselves. That's all it is. On
It don't have
Streamyard, they
nothing to
let you
do
have
with
your
that.
name
Y'all
up.
promoted yourself wonderfully, and plus I promote y'all. While y'all on this channel, I always promote y'all. P said your light bill they paid, bro. That's why it's dark.
Damn it. Damn it, PMP, you know this. Shh. They'll be talking about this, sir. Stop it. They'll say Trace over there in the
Uh,
dark.
oh man, Pimp P, you did it again, sir.
Joy, that still makes him our white friend. You know, Hispanics are white. They're not people of color. They're white.
he's he saying he got a haircut. Who got a haircut? Money boy. Yeah,
The
they're
next
starting to
time
rush you a
that
little bit, bro.
the next time I get a haircut, I'll probably be dead. I ain't cutting my hair no more. I cut my hair like 5 years ago. I mean, 5 years ago.
But yeah, man. Oh
For a fucking job that I stayed on less than a month. I kicked
yeah.
my ass after that. That was what led me to be like, you know what? I can't work for nobody anymore. I got to do my own shit. I fucked around and did some shit that I didn't want to do for some money, and I didn't even keep the fucking job.
Mm-hmm. Mm-mm-mm. I remember doing something like that too. The job required for me to shave my beard all the way off. I shaved that thing off, and I just stayed at that job for a week, man, and I still was mad.
No, I ain't mad, but again, that just motivated me to not work for anybody else that could fire me.
Mm-hmm.
If I can't make it on my own, I don't need it.
Yep. So speaking of shaving, I don't know. Speaking of shaving, I don't know if y'all noticed this, but Urban and I always have a different look every single week. I don't know if y'all noticed that.
Yeah,
Cause
we noticed
my
it.
hair grows back fast, bro. So I can always change my look every single week. One minute I have
We
a full beard, next minute I just have this part, next minute I just have that part.
yeah, we noticed that damn bandana you wore, sir. Please don't do that again, ever.
Oh man. So you know what? Well when PNP and CMA was well actually it was more PNP with PP. Well when she was doing that roast show, I was actually was inspired to actually go up there and wear that same outfit just so it could actually be a roast show since it wasn't going according to its plan. But I shouldn't change my mind when I started seeing how the way things was going with it. So I like, well, you know,
Which roast show? The initial jump that me and Huggy were on?
yeah, that one.
Yeah,
Yeah,
but that it never was a roast show.
yeah,
And like
that's
I
what I'm
said
saying. That
last night,
Yeah, that's what I'm
I
saying.
don't
That
mean
it didn't. Yeah, it didn't necessarily go according to its plan. And what I was going to do, I was actually was going to go up there and wear my same, outfit, whatever. Go up there and just let y'all just go at it, roast me, just so it could be a roast show. Cause like me personally, I don't care. I could take it. You know what I'm saying? As long as you ain't being extremely disrespectful. But yeah, that's what I was going to do. But I was still in the chat at the time, and that's when I started seeing, different things that was transpiring in the chat. Like, well, I ain't gonna do it. Never mind.
I hate to be
And
cocky,
this
but
is before you and Huggy went up there.
and that's what I'm saying. Hell, nobody. It wasn't no. Apparently, when me and Huggy came up there, everybody got in their motherfucking feelings. Apparently, and we weren't disrespecting anybody. Huggy was asked a question about his preference. Well, it wasn't even about his preference. He was asked, "Do you believe what Wesley Snipes said when he said Asian women are more submissive than black women?" The answer was yes. They asked him why he thought that. He based it on facts and real life experiences, and that's when all hell broke loose. So we still moved the motherfucking needle at the end of the day. Shit we were talking about moved the needle because that's all everybody's been reviewing is what happened when Huggy got up there and me. Not the shit before. Not trying to be cocky, but it just is what the fuck it is.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody's reviewing what the fuck happened when me and Huggy got up there. Not everything else that was going on prior to. And we didn't do anything wrong. It was, as Joy said, always says, it be the subscribers causing the most shit because none of the women on the panel that we were talking to were offended. They actually sat there and had the conversation. But then you got all these motherfuckers in the chat room that got opinions and shit, but they see the link just like me and Huggy saw the link. and they didn't pull up. But they got all this shit to say before, during, and after. I don't get it.
Mm-hmm.
That's why I keep to myself because niggas are stupid.
Miss Lisa, welcome, welcome, and you welcome, by the way. Yeah, I mean, this, like I say, even that situation, it does, at the end of the day, it just is what it is. Yeah, it is what it is. So, lot of different lessons to be learned. But so, yeah, y'all going in on me for real. Though. I ain't lying. Sure, if I was a sensitive brother, sure, if I was a sensitive brother, I would have black eye. Y'all son of a guns.
Hispanics are pale. They're not brown. Well, some of them are brown, but the majority of them are pale.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, urban. Yeah, urban. That junk got to be. Yeah, you can't wear that bandana no more, sir. No, it has been banned in all 50 states in the U.S. and Canada.
Dang, including Canada. Yeah, it did got banned in Canada for real. Cause PMP wasn't even feeling it. That's bad. That's bad when a person from another country wasn't even feeling it. That was crazy. That was crazy right there. But does like I say, that still goes with the that point about going back and forth and networking and different things like that. You don't never know when you enter into somebody's house how the end result is going to turn out. You know what I'm saying? You don't never know unless you really just take the time out and vet that person and see. Yeah, that's all I can say about that. Yeah.
Sir,
Did
are
did
you gonna let Lachey? Are you gonna let Lachey get away with that comment in your comment section? Black women aren't as submissive. That is a compliment. Girl, stop.
black women
That's the
aren't that
reason.
submissive? What?
That's the that's the reason why only 24% of black women are married because they're not submissive. That's not a good thing. We have the lowest marriage rates across the board. I don't see how
Period.
that's a good thing.
Period.
Because
And that's
all y'all
actually
grow
that's
up
actually
wanting
us.
to be married. Despite the
Mm-hmm.
bullshit that y'all say now, y'all all grow up wanting to be a princess and have the prince charming and all that shit. And only
Mm-hmm.
24% of y'all get to experience that. And out of the 24% of y'all that gets to experience it, 75% of the women initiate the divorce.
Yep. Exactly, and that's true. Many
So
different
it's not a
surveys
good
could.
thing at all.
Yeah, many different surveys conducted, and all of them come back with the same stats. So yeah,
Oh,
and
I'm
so
not
that
cammed
should
up, Lisa.
yeah so that should come to show that um black men are
We got access.
necessarily ain't looking for the super strong independent black
Look,
woman.
Lachey says we have our own mind and aren't as easy to control. Well, ma'am, that's why we have started
Mm-hmm.
divesting. And y'all get mad at the fact, like, this is what I don't understand about women. Y'all, we will tell y'all what we want. You say that them being submissive is a compliment. And so when we divest and go to other races, black women complain about us dating other women while telling us they won't be submissive. You can't have it both ways. We want what the fuck we want. And if other women outside of our race are going to be submissive, why the fuck are we going to argue with the black woman who's told us they don't want to be? And there's millions of women out there that will be, that aren't black. Y'all got to
Here
pick
here's
a struggle.
here's another part to that too. That I'm gonna add on. The other women that they're not black. Guess what? Their mothers and their grandmothers and their grandmothers, their great grandmothers. Guess what they're doing? They're teaching them how to be submissive towards a man. They're teaching them that. They're teaching that there's nothing wrong with being submissive towards a man. And they teach them furthermore that this word submission is not this horrible, scary word. That, in other words, submission isn't something where a dude is just choking you out and grabbing you by your neck and making you comply to do something. They're not saying it in that point. They're teaching them submission as form of respect, to respect the divine order of the man, which is the man is the head, the woman is the helpmeet. Period. And I always been away. But
Hold up,
black
Urban.
women feel that the man is not the head. They feel like they're the head. Also, they feel that they're equal to the man, which that is not true. Even in nature, that is not true.
Well, Urban, at this point of the show, Lachey's comments have got me triggered. That's what I'm saying,
You
triggered.
got me
So Lachey,
triggered.
yeah. So Lachey, I'm gonna try to answer all three of your comments. Don't type no more time. Respond to the first one. So does being submissive equate to being marriage material? Yes, it does, because if you can't be submissive in a relationship, you damn sure can't be submissive in a marriage. Second one, women provide balance, not being a doormat. Men provide balance as well, but we do more in relationships than y'all do. That is a fact. Because again, I will always go back to you women ain't changing no motherfucking tires. We are. So where's the balance? Like it's not a balance because we provide more and we do more in relationships. There is no balance. The scales are not the what would it say? They're not. We're not evenly yoked.
Mm-hmm.
It just can't be. We work harder. We make more. We do more in the household. And on the third one, you personally like men outside your race. I'm sure you do because it's easier for y'all to submit to men that aren't black. Black women have no problem to submitting to men outside of their race. It's just us who they won't submit to. I think I'm done. I'm done with all three of her comments. Triggered.
Triggered. All right, so she said, I have no problem with being submissive. Just believe that a wife or a husband should bring balance to each other. Now, I could want to come into that. All right, the only way we're gonna want to bring balance to each other, or as y'all say, equally yoked, is for us to be in our divine place. Period. You know what I'm saying? Both person can. It is impossible for both person to take on the leadership role where you know that's been appointed towards the man. Period. Or let me put it to you this way: it's impossible for the woman to take on a masculine role knowing good and well that role is for her man or for her husband. Likewise, the same way, it's impossible for a man to take on a feminine role knowing good and well that role is for his wife. You know what I'm saying? It have to be balanced. There's no balance if both of y'all are trying to take on each other roles. There's no balance at all. All of this is confusion instead of
Lachey,
respect.
Lachey, I'm gonna need you to pick a struggle. Either black women aren't as submissive is a compliment, or you can be submissive. You can't be both. Are you either you are submissive or you aren't, and you just said not being submissive is a compliment. Pick a struggle.
Hmm. But I mean, that's modern day right now. Let's deal with modern day women and black men. Since we're talking about this, all right, is that's the whole issue. Is that the reason why things is not equal, it's not balanced, because people is out of their divine place of where they need to be at. You know what I'm saying? Or that their roles, their gender roles, are where they need to be at. You know what I'm saying? The woman wants to be the man, and the man wants to be the woman. That's the whole confusion of it. Period.
Matter of
And
fact,
then
I'm
in another
finna
part of
end.
it, I can agree with Forrest, the different black women who divest into this. I can agree with this is that many of many of the black men, they're not in a role. That's why we got beta males out there. You know, all these different other men that are out there. You know what I'm saying? I can agree to that. There are men out there who not take care of their responsibilities, or taking accountability, for their roles and their actions as being either a husband or being a father, anything like that. I get that. A lot of
You
men
know
agree
what?
with that. A lot of men who are in that position agree with that. You know, said that the man need to be in that role. But at the same time, women have to take accountability for their roles as well. Just because at one point in time you were a single mother and you're a single mother for whatever reason it was for you to be a single mother, and all of a sudden you enter into a relationship with a man who is in his purpose, and then next thing you know, you trying to step over this man road just because you're used to being the independent, strong black woman. You're used to taking accountability just for your particular actions, and that's it. You're used to that. But when a man say that to you, it's a problem. Who's in this role? That's the issue that these men are having.
No, it's not, Lachey. It's not a preference problem. Black women say out of their own mouths they're not going to be submissive to black men. Y'all are our first choice. But once we realize that y'all don't want to be led or take advice from us black men, we move on. So it's not a preference. And it's actually right. Asian women are taught to submit to their man. That's
Mm-hmm.
something that's taught from generation to generation to generation. You don't hear Asian women out here talking about they strong Asian women. They don't need no man. You hear black women saying that. You don't hear
Mm-hmm.
white women out here saying, I'm a strong, independent white woman. I don't need no man. Even the feminist movement weren't dumb enough to say that. They just were preaching women equality. If they said it, they said it behind closed doors. They don't get on camera and say, we don't need men. They don't. If you can find a video showing me otherwise, please show me. I'm gonna hit Tommy up and see if I can set up a show with him to talk about submission. Cause I know he got a
Uh,
lot to say about that.
I know, right? I know, right? That'd be a real good conversation, like for real though. But yeah, even with June
Oh,
coming
we
there, I
triggered,
even
triggered.
with June coming, I agree with that comment, June, because that's why I was saying earlier is that certain other races they teach their women to be submissive to the men, not in the point of where the man is saying dogging them and belittling them and things like that. They teach them to be submissive and respect to your role as a woman. They teach them that. But however, at the same time, and this going back to our black culture and black race, we're teaching the men teaching the boys to, hey, go out there and sleep with all these different women and to be a player and stuff like that. You treat them like
Well,
lower than
I
dirt.
I disagree with that because it's the women. Because again, if we're gonna say that the men aren't around, so we're hearing the moms talk about hoes and bitches, and we hear the women telling these young men that they're so cute and they're gonna be heartbreakers and all that shit. It's the women that are teaching that.
Hmm. But
Most
yeah,
men, I have never told any of my sons to go out there and be players. I've actually said the opposite.
yep.
And
And
Jessica, I'm triggered again. Yeah, read Jessica's comment. I don't know what the hell that has to do with the conversation.
I'm triggered.
Triggered.
She,
Lachey,
she said,
again,
"I
now I'm finna
you
I'm
ain't
finna
having
do
the
like
baby
you,
out of your
Lachey.
cervix, so there's that."
Lachey, I'm finna do like you and personalize it. There is not one woman in the world that can say I wanted to treat them like slaves or robots. In fact, most women I date are shocked that I give them so much freedom and I don't give a fuck what they're doing. I'm not checking up on them. But it's still certain shit that I require when they're in my presence.
Hmm. No pun on the real part of my presence, by the way.
Well, they teach submission through beating. That's how they do it in the black community. They teach submission by beating you.
Absolutely, and that's why I'm saying that it's a difference between other cultures versus the black community dealing with this word submission. So, therefore, you can see why there's such a disconnect with black women because that's how they interpret it as submission means that I need to go up beside your head to so you can comply with me. Submission means that if you don't do as I say, I'm going to immediately go out and find another woman while I'm still connected to you, while I'm still tethered to you. I'm gonna find another woman and she's gonna submit to me. I'm gonna show you that this woman can submit and I'm gonna teach you that lesson so you can submit. And there's all these different, stigmatism that are out there that some people that honestly really are doing that. By the way,
Hey,
then
Miss
then
Bailey.
even with you, well, you said that you don't teach your sons, that certain narrative and stuff, right? Like going out, be a player, blah blah, all the stuff. There are many other men out there that's the same way. They don't teach their sons how to do that. I do the same thing. I don't teach my sons how to be players or anything like that. I teach them how to want to respect women. I teach them how to want to go out and have confidence in themselves and talking to women, and different things like that. But never I tell them, hey, you need to go out and talk to as many women as possible. You need to go and sleep with these many women and break their heart, lie to them, anything like that. Never. I never teach them that, period. But however, there are certain men out there that really do teach their sons this or what the women are talking about too. They really do teach them that, like, hey, you need to just smash all of them, forget their feelings. You just go and trap them and say that you really care about them. Oh, and throw the word that you love them too, so you can get into their pants and stuff. And that's what be going on with them particular men, and they raise up them particular boys, and them particular boys end up becoming men, teaching their sons the same concept.
Yup. What say you, Lachey? But yes, Lachey, that as much as I say, I will always say, and that kind of goes back to what June said. Every man doesn't deserve submission. Y'all
Facts.
submit to the wrong type niggas, and then y'all complain and say that y'all aren't going to do it for any black men. Us black men that you didn't pick didn't do anything wrong. It's the niggas that y'all picked that did y'all wrong, and y'all want to take that out on us.
Mm-hmm.
You know how many niggas have been used and shit by women? We don't take that out on the next woman. Y'all do.
Mm-hmm. And to be fair about that, um, my black women, to be fair about that, that that is actually true because it been many of actually good black men that y'all came in encounter with who whole interest is to know you, is to respect you for you, and to love you for you. But yet it's still due to the past trauma that y'all have experienced, you end up taking that past trauma and end up using that and start weaponizing that for the next person that you come up with. So in end up on saying, in other words, you end up on saying like, hey, this person did me wrong, so I'm gonna make sure that this other person is not gonna do me wrong. So I'm gonna set all these unrealistic expectations.
Lachey, that I will agree with you there. It is one sided because women aren't teaching submission. Y'all mamas, y'all single parent moms are not teaching it. Y'all are teaching strong, independent black women, not submission. It's not men's job to teach submission. When we get with a woman, they're already supposed to know their fucking role. Just like when we know when we get with women, our role is to be a fucking provider.
Hey, hey, man, bro, I mean to cut you off, but I'm gonna solo you real quick. I gotta take this phone call, all right? But you still talk. I'm listening.
All right, yeah. So yes, yeah, Lachey, like that. It is one sided because women aren't teaching that. It just like it would be lopsided if men aren't teaching men how to be men. I can agree. It's lopsided on that because I can agree that women are teaching these men how to be men, and these same women aren't teaching their daughters submission. So yes, it's one sided. Men and women both have past trauma. We have learned control and manipulative tactics in relationships. Well, we already know women are the most manipulative creatures on the planet. So then there's always that. But I don't think trauma has nothing to do with being submissive. Like again, as a man, I've dated a lot of women. I've been used in all types of shit by women, had my shit fucked up by women, but that hasn't made me give up on women. Only y'all do that. Well, this nigga did me this way, so I'm through with fuck all niggas. I ain't never doing this to this nigga. That's what y'all do, not men. That's why they say we react off logic most of the time. Okay, because there's always an exception, but most of the time we react off logic. Y'all react off emotion. Everything is emotional to y'all. Where we have to actually sit back most of the time, the ones of us that can grasp it, we have to sit back and think about our fucking actions and how that's going to affect us the next 5, 10 years down the road. Lachey, it was asked, have you ever been at Fort where is that? Fort what? It was asked, have you ever been to some military base? I'm trying to find it. Where is it? Were you ever at Fort Campbell, Lachey? This nigga just walked off and left. But yeah, I don't know how we got into submission, but that's been a hot button topic the past couple of days, and I don't know why that word is so offensive. Submission, like I don't think most people know what that definition means. They just automatically think that it's some negative stuff, especially when it has to be applied to them. Now that makes sense. If submission usually results in pain for black women, they will go from it. And yes, some black men treat others better just because they are black. I agree. I think both. I think men and us men and women, we treat outside races better than we do our races. But as you said, it goes back from the experiences that we've had with each other. But the difference is black men aren't out here complaining about black men dating white women. We don't care, but we don't care about y'all dating white boys. But y'all get mad when we date white women or any other ethnicity. If we call a woman exotic, y'all get mad. It's just it's more emotional as usual. But yes, I can agree with that, Jessica. We both men and women, when we go outside our race, we treat them differently, and that's not a bad thing because these people haven't done anything to us to make us have apprehension to be like, you just like everybody else. We give them a clean slate. We don't give each other a clean slate though. That's kind of what I was saying earlier. Who the hell is this? Oh, this early. Yeah, we don't give ourselves clean slates. We kind of just shut down and be like, I ain't being submissive to this nigga. Fuck these niggas. Because it was told to me when we were talking about submission that black men ain't doing nothing but pumping black women up full of babies. And I'm like, wait a minute, are you being raped by these black men or are you choosing to lay down with these niggas? And if we're gonna be real, y'all are just choosing to lay down with ain't shit niggas. Yes, she did live in Fort Campbell, Miss Daly. But yes, the link. Well, shit, he didn't walked away. I was about to say the link was in if anybody wanted to join in on this conversation. What we were initially talking about was I already said that, Jessica. I said that the absent males aren't teaching a thing. So if the males are absent and they're not teaching, then that means by default it is the moms that aren't teaching these men how to respect women, and they're not teaching their daughters how to be submissive. But y'all don't want to talk about that. I agree with you. The absent males ain't teaching a damn thing, but it's the worst that y'all can say. That they absent and they ain't teaching shit. So if the men aren't teaching this poor behavior amongst the men and women, who do we blame for teaching the behavior?
Yeah, I appreciate you holding it down for me too, sir.
No problem.
All right. So some of the conversation I heard on the other part I didn't hear it because I had to take out my headphones and everything. So what I miss?
No, I was just reading the comments and responding to them. I was
Okay,
agreeing with
gotcha.
Jessica
Oh
on a lot of things.
oh yeah, Jessica. Appreciate you tuning in. Appreciate you tuning in. And I appreciate everyone's tuning in as well. Who we got? Miss Hunt Daily. Hey, I appreciate you tuning in, Miss Daily. Um, who else we got? I think we got a couple of people in the bushes as well tuning in. Everyone in the bushes, I appreciate you tuning in too.
with your
If you
whole
like
ass.
to participate in the conversation, you can want to come out the bushes and type in the chat, or Money Boy. He just dropped the link, so you can come on this link as well and share your personal perspective about this too. All right. And so it's open panel. You can. The only thing about it is that I gotta give you this disclaimer: is that my link is going to require for you to cam up unless you could do a workaround like Moneyboy Trey. Now, another thing too, if you don't want to be on the camera, then I won't put you on the camera. Like how I got it right now, it does me on the camera. All right. So I will respect you on that if you don't want to. All right. Other than that, back to the conversation.
This is why a lot of women would rather have a baby by a black man. I don't understand that comment. Man, just we listening, players. Speak your speech.
Let's say our ancestors are the ones who isn't teaching us anything but what we have been brainwashed to believe and taught. But what's she talking about that?
She's saying our grandparents and shit. I don't know why she said ancestors, but our grandparents. I won't even go back far to ancestors because yeah, I wouldn't say grandparents. My grandma taught all of her daughters how to be submissive. They just went their own way and decided not to. My
Mm-hmm.
grandma had two boys and eight girls. Well, yeah, eight, but only seven. One of them died at birth. But she had eight girls and two boys. There's only one of them currently married, and she's been married since she was 17. The rest of them, let's see. I think my mom may be the only one that's getting married, but none of the marriages lasted. Let me see. Yep,
Mm-hmm.
she got. Yeah, all of my aunts got married, but none of them lasted. By the time I was in my shit, by the time I was 10, none of these people had husbands. My mom never had one. So they went against what they were taught. But again,
Mm-hmm.
then again, my mom was born in 55. She had me at like 23 or 24. That was around the time the feminist movement and shit was really, really strong.
Yep. Yeah, and I believe they was in the second wave by then, second or beginning of the third wave by then of the feminist movement. But even then in the past, the original one grandparents, you know the ones that y'all call Medea and Big Mama and all, you know, all them. That was teaching the women how to be respectful with men. As a matter of fact, that was teaching the women how to be women. That was up in there. Hey girl, get in this kitchen. You first learn how to cut some greens today. They'll get up in the kitchen, teaching y'all how to cook greens and collard greens and all kind of stuff. You know what I'm saying? They teach you how to respect the men and everything back in that time. But now, in the modern day, and I'm just being real about it. Modern day black women, they're not teaching their daughters to get up in the kitchen and learn how to cook, or they're not teaching their daughters, what is it that she needs to do as a woman to, to bring respect towards that man, other than teaching her, hey, you need to be this independent woman to do for yourself type thing. And I'm just being realistic about it. And this is the like I say, this is the disconnect that we're happening right now in this modern day, you know. But one thing I can say just for me personally is that my wife, she does teach our daughters, how to be respectable women, and everything like that. And I teach my sons to be respectable men and stuff too. But that does me out of a million different other people who's not teaching the same thing. And next thing you know, my children who me and my wife who are teaching, we're teaching this the same thing to our children, right? And next thing you know, they end up meeting the dude who haven't been taught that, or necessarily my sons end up meeting a woman who has been taught that. And how you think that will make us feel that we're going through all that effort to teach them that, but y'all not doing the same as that thing?
They don't care.
and then breaking their hearts and stuff like breaking their heart, and then I be having to want to hear about it. Then next thing you know, I'm on the news because let's say y'all see my children, y'all know how much my children love me. So anything what happened to them, I ain't lying. I'm gonna be about that life, like for real. Yeah, they urban nice, but when it comes to
I
my
think
children,
all of
I
us are
be about
like
that
that.
life for real. But that's actually my family. Period. I be about that life. I'll be about that
Jessica,
life
that's
for
the
real.
only Jessica, that's the only person we can blame though is the prison parent. There is no one else to blame. The only thing you can say about the absentee dad is he wasn't there. That's it.
Hmm. Yep, and
And
that
then the
still
question
doesn't.
and the
Oh, go
question
ahead. I'm
would
sorry,
be
bro.
when and the question on that would be if he's not there, when did he decide to leave? Did he
Hmm.
decide to leave when you told him you were pregnant? Did he want a child? Like, these are things that women easily just say, "Oh, the man left," but a lot of times men will tell you they don't want a baby. A lot of times men will give you money for the abortion, and they look up 9 months later and you still got a kid.
That is true scenarios too. That happens.
I repeat, if niggas had to take birth control, the world would stop being populated because we ain't trying to have no fucking kids.
Hmm. And the only and here's another thing too. The only way a man would truly want to carry his seed if it's dealing with his lineage. And especially if a man is like if a man is like a wealthy person, he's considered as a king or what, however way you put it. He want to have his lineage continue. So of course it'd be better for him to have a seed to keep that going and going and going versus letting it end right there with him. You know.
This is correct.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I think Moneyboy answered that question when we say the better question is why did he leave? And
And so
I
y'all
think
would have
Moneyboy answered that question. There are different scenarios behind that. In most cases, which I agree with him on it, is that in most cases it be that this dude made a mistake, which it is accountability on his part. By the way, he made the decision that he want to have sex with this woman without having protected sex, end up impregnated this woman. The next thing you know, he's saying that, hey, did you take a plan B, or let's get an abortion, anything like that. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, part of the accountability is on him because he made a decision to do that. But also the other part of the accountability as well is dealing with that woman too, vetting that man, and vetting if you truly want to have a seed with this man, because with having a seed with that man comes with all the baggage that man has too, whether it's positive or negative baggage that you're going to have to deal with. And some women, they don't think about that. All they thinking about is the feel of the moment, or the feeling of the moment at the moment. Hey, I got this dude. I'm gonna impregnate this dude. Well, not pregnant. I'm gonna have this dude seed, and I could trap him by saying either want to marry me, or I'm gonna put you on child support. And this is how the modern day women think. I could trap him by saying that either you marry me, or I'm gonna put you on child support. I'm gonna take away your way of living if you don't
okay.
comply. And that's how a lot of the modern day women think. I'm not saying every black woman thinks this way. I'm talking about the modern day black woman thinks like this with this mentality.
You don't have to explain that you ain't talking about every. But Lachey, it would take us to hear from y'all why he left. And the top three answers on the board are he cheated, he ain't shit, or he hit me. Those are the top three answers. And what I always say is, so none of this behavior ever existed until you pushed the baby out. He wasn't a cheater before you got pregnant and had the baby. He didn't beat you before you got pregnant and had the baby. And he wasn't not shit before you got pregnant by him and had the baby.
Yep. That that's something to consider as well. But then, like say, I know that I know y'all want to come in the chat and stuff like that. By all means, y'all still could come up and just show your perspective. I promise y'all that it's not gonna be no disrespectful thing. You know, we'll have this conversation and we'll go from there.
June, why do you say they should be out the house by the time they're 18? I think that's something only black parents push. Is you got to get the
That's
fuck out when you
I
18.
you know what? I'm so glad that June brought that up too. This is but with all due respect, this is one of the responses that I totally disagree with. I totally 100% disagree with it. Um, and just like what Moneyball pointed out, I only see this in the black community that black people say this about their own offsprings. They say when you turn 18, you gotta get out the house. I didn't even heard it where they're saying, well, if you're 16 and you end up becoming pregnant, you got to get out the house. Like, what? Why? And
And
it's
they have to
only
get
dealing
out.
with black people.
Yeah, they have to get out in the house and do what? Because if we're being real, for the past 4 years, their main job has been going to school and being in high school. Most kids don't work fucking jobs when they leave school. So what are they supposed to do at 18?
Exactly. And you're creating this whole path for your children. Then you wonder why your children is turning out the way that they are. It's not because of them, it's because of your parenting. That's a parenting accountability. But now y'all ask well Urban, would you put your kids out at 18? Nope. Sure wouldn't. And here's another thing
No,
too.
no. In fact, my son that's 18, I invited him to come stay with me. I was like, your mama started being on that bullshit, which she was. I predicted at 17. You can come live with me.
Hmm. And here's another thing too that I want to bring up, and this is dealing with the single mothers, by the way, from this perspective. They want their 17, 18-year-old sons to pretty much be the replacement man that they want. So in other words, they want that 17 and 18-year-old to take on accountability roles that they're not even ready for. It's as though as they're dating a mom. This is the reason why, women, that you have these men considered as mama's boys. It's for this reason. And because you treat that dude like that's your man. Hence, you start giving him responsibility to my well, you 17, 18 years now, that means you can find a job. So you need to get out the house and go get a job so you can help me pay bills. That is not that dude's responsibility to take care of your household. That is your responsibility as a parent to take care of that household, not his responsibility. He don't have nothing to do with that. He's just a child. But yet still we put him into that position. In other words, making him mature way too early for what he needs to be. But then again, I get it. Y'all make the excuse saying that, well, he needs to learn responsibility because when he get out to the world, he gonna have to do that. Let him make that choice to do that on his own. Don't put him, as we say, in the dulo twist and stuff and forcing him that role. And now he got this whole perspective about, man, my mom is treating me this way, putting me into this space, and maybe other women are going to be treating me the same exact way. Hence, this also corrects this whole emotional response about these men treating the women how the way they treat them.
I told my mom, I still tell my mom this as an adult. I'm like, the one thing I hate about you is the fact that as a 14-year-old child, I was working and you made me pay rent. That is some fucked up shit. And it's not like you took the money that you were getting me for rent. It's not like you put it into a bank account, you saved it for me, bought me a car, anything. No,
Mm-hmm.
you actually spent that shit on yourself. And then when
Exactly.
I got an adult, she would still come around with that same shit. And I was like, look, I am not your man. I'm not your boyfriend. You had all the years of your life to do that. I'm not put here to take care of you. I have my own family, I have women that I have to take care of. You are an adult. You're on your own.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
especially
Exactly.
especially if the child feels like they've been mistreated. Like, how the fuck can you expect the child to like come? That's a lot of things that these parents don't understand. They treat their kids like shit and then expect them to take care of them when they're old. How the fuck can you do
Exactly.
that?
Exactly. Exactly. And that's what causes a lot of disconnect. But they don't see it that way. They don't sort of see it one track. I'm in a situation. I'm gonna want to take advantage or utilize this situation to the best of my ability. And this is the reason why most people who are on child support, this is one of the number one arguments that they have is that if I'm giving you money to support our child, it should be used to support our child, period, not to support your personal endeavors. You know what I'm saying? And that's the argument that they be having with that. You know what I'm saying? Which I agree. You know what I'm saying? It should be used so you can so you feel like that you decide to be the one custodial parent and you decide to take on all this responsibility on your own. Keep in mind, you decide to take that role of being a custodial parent on your own. Not saying to the court, say that like, hey, I don't want to be a custodial parent. I want us to have split joint custody where it's 50-50 everything. uh, the child be a his father household, he be in my household, but we both joint parents, period, and stuff. You know what I'm saying? Where they equally living in both person household. It could go back and forth whenever they choose to do it. At any given time, they could do that. You know what I'm saying? Take on that role. But instead, y'all choose to let people manipulate and control y'all and say, hey, be the custodial parent. And that's how you being the custodial parent, you're taking on all the responsibility. And now all of a sudden, you're looking for that man to support you the same exact way as though as that man is in your house. No, you can't come out the house, remember? You remove him from that family unit, remember? You wanted to be the independent woman, remember? So you can't sit up there and complain and say that I'm the custodial parent. I do all these different things. So yeah, I deserve to use this child support money to get my hair done or to go out and do these certain things. No, that is not right. You could be using that money to set up a trust fund for the children where when they get ready to go out and whatever decisions that they want to make, where if they want to go to college, where if they want to go to the military, whatever thing they want to do, you can set up a trust fund account for them with that money that's being received, put into account, and when they get old enough, they have that money to fall back on so it could support them when they be older. That's how the way I see it. But other people don't see it that way. They feel like that money should be used to pay bills, their bills, and get their hair done, get their nail done. They complain. You know what I'm
Here's
saying?
here's the fucked up part about my mom though. My mom didn't she wasn't having money problems. She was a fucking teacher and she got child support for me and my brother. So she didn't need the money. She just was taking money from me and my brother and her excuse was I'm teaching you responsibility. And I'm like, so you don't think life would have taught us responsibility? You don't think the first time we went out on our own and tried to get an apartment, they would have taught us about paying bills? You had to do this at 14,
Mm-hmm.
and then will turn around when a nigga ask her to co-sign for them at 19. She say no, but as an adult, she can call me to pay her rent.
Yeah, true, true. And the crazy part about that is that their reason for not wanting to co-sign with you, talking about I don't want to have that responsibility, and I don't want you to mess up my credit. But keep in mind, there's some women out there that literally use their own children credit when their credit is messed up too. So let's talk about that.
Well, unfortunately, thank goodness my mom never did shit like that, like put shit in our name. But I've
Mm-hmm.
heard it happen, and that's just sad. Your credit fucked up, so you fucked your child's up. And at least as an adult, you know how important credit is. So you would think you would at least want to have your kids' credit straight. They don't give a fuck about that. They'll put shit in their kid's name and just not pay it off.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Kid get 18 with a negative 400 credit score.
You, yeah. Exactly. And I agree with you on that too, Joe. Yeah, they want to be the captain of their ship, but they don't want to take the wheel. I mean, yeah, I agree with that. And then once again, y'all, I just still want to throw out this disclaimer because sometimes people they'll come in and they'll just hear half of the conversation and they'll formulate their own perspective about this. Let me iterate that this conversation is not talking about every black woman on the planet, because we know
Yes, it
that
is.
every black woman do not resemble this type of behavior. We know that. We're talking only about the black women that resembles this behavior. Y'all sisters that resemble this type of behavior, the same sisters that at the end of the day, and only way for their behavior to change is for y'all as sisters to tell them, get on them, and make them have accountability for their behavior. It's the same exact way how y'all come to us about men. Talking about, well, y'all men need to tell other men, yeah, they need to start going around, stop cheating on women and doing this and that or whatever. Okay, touche. But at the same time, the women need to do the same thing. You, instead of you high fiving each other and stuff on when a woman get on the live and stuff saying that, hey, I didn't abuse this man, I didn't did this and that, and y'all getting on the live high fiving her, giving thumbs up and stuff. Y'all need to get on that live and tell like, man, no, you wrong. What you doing is wrong, and the behavior that you doing is wrong. Period. That's what y'all need to do. But be honest with you,
Unfortunately,
I don't see a lot of women holding other women accountable for their actions. I really don't. I see more men doing that than
you
women.
don't see it at all, bruh. You don't see it at all.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, I don't. I honestly don't. I see more men doing that than women. And to be honest with y'all, we do that so many times where especially if it's a dude that we really rock with, and we want the best for that dude. We gonna be straight up real with them, like for real with them about certain things they do, and we're gonna tell like, man, what you did was straight up wrong, bro, and you need to fix that. It is what it is, and that's how we talk to each other. We may agree with it, we may disagree with it, but like always, the difference is that we don't allow our emotions to overcome our better judgment of our overall decisions. You know what I'm saying? So what we do, we'll think about like, man, whatever, stuff like that, but we'll sit back and we'll think about it. Then we're like, you know what? Man, what he was saying was right. I shouldn't be doing this stuff. I need to change. You know what I'm saying? I need to want to change my life. But however, when a woman do that, I better guarantee if a woman do that to another woman, y'all gonna get up in your feelings. Y'all gonna be calling each other bees and everything like that, and nothing's gonna be resolved. Cause to be honest with you, and I'm in the field of learning about behavior, and I just have not seen that another woman vet another woman about their behavior, and it changed for the good. I'm just being real about it. I haven't seen it.
They don't. They have the pack mentality. We're gonna do what the pack do.
At the end of the day,
As again, these are the conversations that are never had. We always hear conversations about what men aren't doing, but we don't get to talk about the women because they shut that shit down when we do,
mm-hmm.
or they try
Yep,
to,
yeah, exactly.
or they
Because it
try to,
becomes,
or they try to say you got mommy issues, you hate
mm-hmm.
strong black women, you beat women, and all that other fuck shit to deflect from the truth that we're saying.
Yeah, exactly. I agree. And no,
Like if niggas, go
oh,
ahead.
go ahead.
I was just gonna say, if we're up here telling y'all what it is that we like and dislike, it's because we're trying to correct y'all because we love y'all and we want y'all. This is like our last plea to y'all before we move the fuck on with our life. And
Mm-hmm.
y'all, it seems like y'all don't care anymore.
Yeah, exactly. You know what I'm saying? Which in all, which in all honesty, I could get the reason why, once again, I could get why they in that emotional state that they're in, because they didn't deal with all these dudes doing different things to not only them, but to their parents, to their grandparents, which are all, respect. I understand that. I get that. But at the end of the day, there had to come to a point of a certain level of accountability too with this. You know what I'm saying? For Both parties involved. It can't be no one sided thing. It can't be just, man, you need to do this and that, and y'all not taking accountability for your actions as well, because it's just not going to work. And this is what happened right now. There are a lot of men out there that are learning the errors of their ways. They're being vetted to with other men checking them and telling them, hey, this is what it is. You need to fix this. And they're going through the process of fixing it. And when they finally go through the process of fixing it, they end up meeting this woman who's been emotionally damaged as well. And now they're going through the whole point of trying to fix her when they shouldn't be having to fix her. That is not his responsibility to try to fix her. Just like it's not the woman's responsibility to try to fix the man. It's that man responsibility to fix the man. It's also that man responsibility to get in tune with other men who have the better interest for him. You know what I'm saying? To help him get to that point. Same way with the woman. It's for y'all to fix yourself and also get other women who have the best interest in mind for you to fix you. You know what I'm saying? And that was another thing too that I had to learn. I had to learn the hard way too. Is that everybody used to be a huge Captain Savior for real. I ain't lying. I used to be a huge Captain Savior for real.
Presently, presently still are. Continue.
But even then, I had learned the reason why I had this behavior, bro. It came from a lot of reasons. You know what I'm saying? One of the main reasons that it came from is because of my upbringing. At the time, my mother was at the time was a single mother until eventually my father came back into the household, and yeah, he did what he had to do within our household until he passed away. God bless his soul. That's part of the reason. Another part of the reason is upbringing. Another part of the reason is who I was associated with, certain friends I associated with different reasons, different scenarios for me to become the way that I was, being a captain, Captain Savior. So therefore, it translated into the women who I went after. So I went after these certain women. I knew that they had issues as well. I knew that they had problems, but in my mind, I'm thinking that, hey, I could change them by showing them that there is an actual dude out there that really care about them, that care about the best interest in them and everything. And that was my mindset. That was my mentality. So I could change them. The reason why I'm saying that is because it is women that resume the same exact behavior like I had too, thinking that, hey, I know that this dude is messed up. I know he's all the way messed up, but I can change him. I could see him the areas way. I could become the best woman that he ever had. I could be this woman who could cook, clean for him, help support him. If he don't have no job, no problem. Sit up there, play the PlayStation, and I'll work. You know what I'm saying? Until you get to the point where you need to be at. You know what I mean? And went through that whole process. Then at the end of the day, you end up getting burnt by that dude. Just the same way I end up getting burnt by these women and stuff. And what end up happening is that you get so burnt by that, you end up developing certain feelings about yourself, and now you thinking every person is like that. I had learned that I needed to heal myself from it, and I needed to heal from the certain actions that I had did to cause that situation to happen in the first place. Once when I learned that and I realized that and I healed from that, now I know what type of person to look for in a relationship. And it's the same thing with the woman. Once when you learn that, you learn from your lessons, that's when you start vetting the real type of man that you know that's going to bring value into your relationship versus the dudes that's not going to bring value to whatsoever.
We don't believe in vetting people, and we don't believe in learning from our past history and mistakes.
Exactly, and you can't always stay the victim as well, especially with women. Especially with women, you can't always continue to play the victim role. There has to come to a point of accountability. Period. For the actions that you took in a situation and your end results as well. And also for the actions for the other person took as well.
Well, yeah, that's easier said than done. easier said than done. It's typically always somebody else's fault. And that's just
Mm-hmm.
black
Yep.
people, and that's black people in general. That ain't just women. With black people in general, it's always somebody else's fault, especially when they react to the fuck shit that you did. They're wrong. There is no accountability in the black community. Fuck it. There
Yeah.
isn't any.
I mean, to be honest with you, be honest with you, bro. I'm really starting to see that a lot. That is it isn't no accountability. We can't if we look at this for us a race perspective. I'm honestly believing that this is the reason why we can't move forward as a people
It,
is because we there's no accountability for our actions. Furthermore, we rather accept the BS than to move forward and to remove all the BS. You know what I'm saying within us mentally and even spiritual whatever too.
Agreed.
So it's hard. It's really hard to get to that point. That you got all these different people out there right now who's preaching about, hey, we need to come together as as black people. Or, we need to do this, we do that. But it's real hard to do that when majority of the people doesn't feel the same. It's only what say I say it's probably about 5% of the people who agree with that, and the rest of the percentage of people just don't agree with it. They just in their own little world.
I don't think we don't have to come together on everything. We see white people all day, every day that are conservatives and Democrats, and they not out here fighting each other because they on different sides of the aisle. Hell, I
Mm-hmm.
know married couples that are Democrat and Republican. We don't have to come together on everything. Just come together on the important shit.
Yep. Exactly. The part of stuff that matters the most. Just start from there. But even there, it's hard for us to get together with that because people been as I say, they've been programmed or they've been brainwashed so much so that they even believe in the bull crap. They know that the bull crap stink. They smell it, but they just used to it. They're like, oh well, that is how the way it's supposed to be. No, it don't. It really don't.
Agreed. Agreed. Let me get off Twitter. They popping on this motherfucker. Jesus.
you been on Twitter ever since I mentioned about Twitter?
No, I don't know what the fuck I was doing. Somehow I got to that motherfucker on my phone and I saw six. It's like, hold up, let me tune in.
And
This
you
must
know
be
what, June, I also agree with that too. And I say this all the time as well, and this deals with the accountability part. You're saying it's much easier to sit on your ass and complain than to take initiative and make change. I 100% agree with that. I do. And then, like I say, that deals with the accountability part. Taking action deals with you saying an accountability. Period. If you don't see that you don't need to be held accountable for nothing, more than likely you're not going to take action of it. Period. Because you think it's the way that it's supposed to be.
we're Lachey. I don't the not being whole as a person. I don't agree with that. We're divided because we're stupid. Generally speaking, we're stupid. We don't learn. We don't want to learn new shit. We're like as pardon my presence said, we've been rewarded for putting our lives in other people's hands. We know we can
Mm-hmm.
always blame somebody else and to always be somebody patting us on the back saying, you right, it is their fault. Come on, baby, you didn't do nothing wrong.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. Yep. I agree.
These people out here doing this fuck shit, they're whole people. They're whole. They're just wholly evil. Like we have to stop. Like there, we have to get. We have to realize that everybody on the earth isn't good. Everybody on the earth isn't smart. There's a bunch of dumb motherfuckers walking amongst us.
Yep.
It's up to us to discern who are the dumb motherfuckers and stay away from them. But you can't teach
Mm-hmm.
these dumb motherfuckers. They don't want to learn nothing. All they know is their small world. And instead of them learning, they would rather trap you because they know you came from their small world at one point and you managed to get out. They're mad that you got out, so they want to drag you back in.
Exactly. Exactly. Yeah, I agree with that. And that's the disparity that we're dealing with in the black community. When a black person get called a Uncle Tom or a sellout or any of these triggering words, I'm triggered.
It, it's never by a white person.
Mm-hmm.
White people don't call us coons and Uncle Toms. That'd be us.
Yep.
You know why we call
Exactly.
coons and Uncle Toms? Because we've escaped that small minded ass space that black people are generally stuck in. And when we come out and we're doing and saying something that they're not used to, we're wrong. Hell no, what's wrong with this nigga? Like we
Mm-hmm.
kept having this conversation the other night, and this woman kept calling us Candace Owens loving motherfuckers. I'm like, what's wrong with liking Candace Owens? And why do you have to keep saying we're Candace Owens loving motherfuckers? Why can't we just be conservative men?
Mm-hmm.
And what's wrong with being conservative? You don't hear us up here bashing you because you support Democrats. And
Yep.
again, this is shit that white people don't do.
Mm-hmm.
This is niggas
Yep.
doing this. And then
Yeah.
they want to
Exactly.
scream for equality afterwards. Like we were having a
Exactly.
conversation about white supremacy was brought up, and I pointed up, ma'am, you drinking right now. So white supremacy, like drinking, is straight up a part of white supremacy. We know how they set the liquor stores up in the hood and all this shit. You have no problem with that white supremacy, but you're more upset about what the fuck Candace Owens says.
Mm-hmm.
But you're supporting white supremacy every day by buying their booze.
Yep.
We just fucked up out here.
Yep. It's true. You can't look at one end of the scope without viewing our parts of it. That is true. That does the same, and now we talking about the content creators, right? That does the same about viewing people on videos. Like you can't just view just one portion of the video and formulate your own perspective about it unless you view the entire content and see what they're talking about. And that's another thing that I noticed too, that a lot of people they don't take the time out to view the whole entire content to see the whole story or the whole narrative of what's going on. They just take one little snippet of it and just run with it. Say, hey, this is what it is, and this is what's going to be. And another thing I found out about it too is that the reason why people don't want to view the full content is because they refuse to. They don't want to do it because they want to be they want to pick out whatever is negative, well, whatever negative, so it could go with their personal narrative. That's what I learned.
Yeah, to play the whole video would be a crime. We can't play the whole video because we might end up liking what this person said at the end of
Mm-hmm. Exactly. Exactly. But yeah, I know we been. This is the longest lunchtime conversation I've ever had. Normally it'd be
it.
30
Going on
minutes.
2 hours, I think. 2 hours and 15 minutes seemed like if you started at 2:15.
Yeah, and I blame it on Money Boy too. I blame it on him.
I blame it on your phone call.
Heck yeah. but
And
yeah,
we could
yeah,
end
yeah.
this, Jeff,
He
because
was
you got
asking
to
me like,
come
oh
back
man,
tonight.
is this gonna be your regular lunchtime conversation, or are we gonna really go in it? I'm like, you know what, bro? Let's go in. I got time today. We could do it. So yeah, but yeah, I appreciate everyone tuning in today, and I also appreciate my guest, like always, my boy Trey, for tuning in, sharing his perspective about the topic that we're talking about. Also, and I appreciate everyone who's very active in the chat as well, and I appreciate everyone who's on listening, regardless if you're active in the chat or you're just listening in the bushes. I appreciate y'all tuning in as well. Very good conversation. Very good, very good. I like this like always. Trey, you got any last words? Want to shout out your channel, by the way?
Yes. Money Boy Trey, all caps, TR3Y. Money Boy is one word, Trey with a three. If y'all don't like what I said, on the words of Juicy J, suck my dick.
Why? Why?
That's what I do.
Why? This man here is the networking king.
I will say, and that's the thing. And then a lot of times I don't try to actually be networking, but people are gravitated to me.
Mm-hmm.
People are gravitated to me, and I like to talk. So networking comes easy, although I really don't try to do it, and I don't like it, but it just comes easy.
Mm-hmm.
I'll be honest, most of the networking that I've done, those people aren't around me anymore. So that's another pro a con of it. And it's not that I did anything. It's they felt that I did something or they wanted to control me because they gave me money.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Yes. It is what it is. It is what it is. But once again, everybody, I appreciate y'all tuning into this conversation. Um,
Hold up, G. Shay just went South Memphis on you. She said she in the bushes with her ski mask on, player. She don't like
yeah, I
what you
saw
said.
that. I saw that.
She went straight South Memphis on you.
Hey, Lachey, one day I got to get you on my show too. So we have a discussion too. So we got to set
Well,
that up.
you shared her video. That's her name on Facebook. Inbox her.
Yeah. I know who it is. I know her.
Triggered.
Triggered. Hey, that's gonna be our new thing in 2022. Thing that's gonna be our new thing in 2022. Triggered.
Fuck that. You asked me if I had some last words. Yes, I do. Cause these motherfuckers constantly are saying y'all some felon YouTubers, but you know what these people who are calling us felon YouTubers are doing? They're using our catchphrases and shit. They over there in other people chat saying get in the car and shit. So you using felon YouTubers lingo?
That's
Shit.
normally how it is, though, bro.
We have to be the most felon YouTubers with the most impact on this shit right now.
Mm-hmm. Guess what? They're gonna be using our new one too. Talking about triggered.
Well, we stole that from a lady last night because she said she got triggered by what me and Huggy said, and I'm like, I'm running with it because it was funny. It
Mm-hmm.
was funny to me how she said it. But yeah, I'm gonna run with that one. But now these motherfuckers straight up jacking ass shit, saying ass shit, but then say we are. But I don't think they realize that the shit that they're saying in the places we be, we created. I don't think they realize we created it. That's why I just be tripping. I'm like, fail YouTubers, nigga, you over here saying get out the car. That's us.
Mm-hmm.
You saying move the fuck around. That's us. You saying you don't talk to peasants. That's us. But you know, it is what it is. I'll continue being a felon YouTuber.
Yep. It is what it is. At the end of the day, it is what it is. So it is what it is. But yeah, Miss Lachey, yeah. I got to get you on my show one day, so we have a conversation because we've been having conversations on platforms often, but we've been having conversation on platforms often. But I just want to have a conversation personally with me and you. We just have a conversation one day. So I'll probably send you an invite one day, and we'll have a good conversation. All right, we'll have a good conversation. All right. So
What
other than
time
that,
you say
y'all
you going
want,
live? 8:30?
huh?
What time you say you going live tonight? 8:30?
Yeah, 8:30.
So what's that? 9:30 my time?
Mm-hmm.
Alright.
Somewhere
Well
around
damn.
there.
Yeah, me and
Somewhere around there.
like I only got like 3 hours of sleep anyway. We may just postpone it. I know her ass tired too. She only got about three as well.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, it's
But yeah,
all
we'll
good. Yeah.
pull up.
All right. Yeah. By the way, since Money Boy mentioned that, I will be on tonight at 8:30 Central Standard Time, 9:30 Memphis, and apparently Canadian time too.
that which
So
is
so we
weird as
will
fuck.
be live as well. We'll be having another interesting show. So I appreciate y'all coming in and tuning into that show as well. My special guest will be no other than Pardon My Presence. So he will be there. Then we have an interesting conversation that we're going to talk to y'all about. All right. So once again, I appreciate Money Boy Trey for tuning in, giving us some perspective as well too. All right. So like I always, y'all continue to fight faith with faith, and we're gonna see y'all later on tonight as well. All right. Peace out.